Well, salutations, everybody. How are things going on this fabulous Tuesday? Is the crack 90? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going saucy? Senior Linus, it has been a bit. How is life treating you? It's a pleasure to have you back in. Always great to see you and your nice blue hue. It always ends up coming up blue for me whenever you end up coming in. So, it fills me with joy, tranquility, and the feeling of royalness whenever I end up seeing your tranquility come into the chat. So it's wonderful to end up having you. Today is going to be an interesting day. Today is the end of this particular season with Real Madrid. Because today we find out whether or not we become champions. Yep. We find out whether or not we win the La Liga with Real Madrid. We find out whether or not everything has conglomerated into success for us. This next match should be our win to become the champions of Spain. And then, hopefully afterwards, we will move straight into the Champions League. So, the way that it is at the moment, we have what should be a guaranteed win against Real Hiss. I never know how to pronounce that, but against them. Even if we don't, we then have Gdansk, and we should end up beating them anyways to become the champions. If we manage to beat both of them, then we have done something revolutionary, and we have managed to secure the biggest wins in La Liga history. In fact, we get that anyway, because 33 wins is the most amount of wins ever recorded in this particular save in the Spanish First Division. So we can reach 34, which will guarantee us the league and guarantee us a record. So we get to end up seeing that. I have been doing good, Linus. You enjoying life, trying to enjoy the crack, trying to enjoy everything that comes along with being at this. And that's the best I can end up being. I haven't gotten up to much mischief now. It has been just semi, going through things nice and easy, nice and delicately. But I've been looking forward to this, to seeing how we end up doing, to seeing whether or not we become champions, and seeing how we do in the final of the Champions League against Man City. Ironically, our midfielder, Ard Guller, is the top goal scorer there, so we'll want to ensure that he continues to perform good. But we'll see how that ends up going. We're going to go full ham on this match now to ensure that we perform good and knock out of the park the win of the championship. So that should be good. But in the grand scheme of things, my friend, have you gotten up to anything fine or delicious? Has there been any news with you? Has it all been good? Have you been doing anything exciting with your life these last few days as Senior Duck ends up gracing us with his presence? We're going to be nice with the team, but we're also going to change it around a bit. So we're not going to play João Pedro. We're going to play Marco instead and have Enric on the bench. Bellingham we're going to play with Laffy up front. And then we're going to go with Brim and Eduardo. And we're going to go with Heinz, Sechi, and Liebe. So it's still fairly strong in terms of it is, even though it isn't our strongest squad. We will have on the bench Jason, because he mainly deserves to be there as our main goalkeeper. But at the same point in time, we will go with Aaron in charge, because it's better looking at a fit goalkeeper than a non-fit goalkeeper. And I don't like playing anyone that has the fitness tag on them. I like to give them as much time as possible to be secured. Yes, they could perform, but I don't like taking that risk. There's, to me, too much of a chance that they're going to end up getting a crippling injury. It's not worth the risk. It's not worth the situation of them going out. Now, we only have 3 matches left in this particular season, and we don't even know if we're going to remain with Liverpool after this. So I suppose it wouldn't matter if we did end up doing something different. But still, we're going to chance our arm. How is life with yourself anyway, Senior Duck? You didn't end up stating anything after that. Is it all going good? Watched some Hambury games up in Stockholm. All went to hell, but it was fun. You watched any games. How have that been going? The last game I sat down and watched properly was United versus Arsenal, where I can understand the likes of Roy Keane, who holds United to an incredibly high standards. But there was a lot to be happy about in that performance versus Arsenal. Now, it was the first performance of the league, which oftentimes ends up meaning it's not everything that ends up coming down. Like, I could turn around and say that West Ham are going to get relegated this season. And to be honest, they're going to get relegated this season. But, you know, you can't really perform it off of one performance. Leeds getting a win versus an astonishingly crap Everton to an astonishingly lucky penalty doesn't showcase that they're going to end up staying up. Or even though I think they're going to stay up, Sunderland getting a 3-0 win versus a catatonically shite team doesn't showcase that they're going to stay up either. But I've been keeping an eye on some of the games. I haven't been ingrained in them as much as I normally would be. Like tonight, I was interested for a bit at watching Real Madrid just because I'd find it interesting to see how they're set up. Even more so when you consider that Real Madrid have an entirely new back line other than Militao, like Alexander-Arnold, Auerbach, Alvaro Fernandez, or Cavaro. For some reason, I don't get the differentiate between the two of them. And then that Dean Housen, the bot from Bournemouth. So, you know, it would be interesting to get a gawk at them. But I haven't yet. But your game there in Stockholm, what went to hell about it? Was it just a good, exciting game with back-to-back interactivity? Or what was it that made it fun to watch, if you don't mind me asking? Real, you're no longer at pool. FF, I can't spell, to be frank. I don't know what you're going on about there, Duck, but if you want to end up trying to give that one another go, I'll happily end up answering it. But for now, we'll go into this, and we'll see how we end up doing. This could be the match that decides us the championship. If we win this match, we are crowned champions of Spain, which is good for us. But we'll see what ends up happening. We have been in strong formations, even though we had the 2 draws. Our opponents are inconsistent and playing a formation that we normally play good against. So we should have good chances now here as well. Most of our team are in good spirits, which is what you like to see. In fact, now all of them are in good spirits, so you really like to see that. So we'd be able to give this a good owl whack at the ham now and see how she ends up going. We've just been good. He's still injured, but I'm not going to give you an answer to that. And you'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Been out for ages as well, so he might as well be a new team. Yeah, Militao. I like Militao. Real Madrid's 27-year-old. It's shocking that he's 27. He doesn't feel like he's 27, to be honest. But I really like Militao. The thing I find interesting is that Real Madrid are going to end up hitting a bit of a problem. Now, I think an awful lot of teams are starting to hit this problem, but Real Madrid in particular are going to start hitting this problem. Like, tonight, Bellingham isn't playing, but he supposedly has a shoulder injury. Enric isn't playing and supposedly has a hamstring injury, and Eduardo Camavinga isn't playing either. And Rudiger obviously isn't playing because he had a straight red card. But they have Rodrigo, they have Faustin Mastantino, they have Garcia, they have Alonso, they have Alaba, they have Cahill, like, they have Lunin. They have so many players and to be fair, they're in the Champions League as well, but there's so many players that will it start to become a point that players are going to end up whinging about game time? Or is that the way that football is going to end up going? Are you basically going to have to field two teams? Because Real Madrid effectively have two teams. And that's interesting, but they effectively have two teams. Skull, how are you doing, my friend? It is a pleasure to have you back. How's life treating you? Is it all going good? My director of football is about to kill murdered. Sold 11 in, bought 1 in. So, if he sold 11 players, how many of them were first teamers, Duck? And with that statement coming in as well, are you now lacking depth? Or was it youths that were being taken for most of what was happening there? Because that sounds a bit bonkers that he ended up doing something like that. Oh, it was Europa game and we played Norwegian team Rosenborg. It was fun in the first half. We played good, scored an offside goal, but second half went to hell. Rosenborg scored. They played a very dead version of football with a lot of laying on the ground, faking being hurt, and walking off the field extremely slow and being subbed. And it was very boring, plus Hambury played very, very bad. That's annoying, especially considering a solid first half performance that you ended up having, Linus. Is this a... What a goal by Marco. Additional to that, Linus, if you don't mind me asking, is this a one-legger? Like, do you face off against them again? Or what did the end result being? Are you true to the next stages of whichever of the Europa League? If you don't mind me asking. Still, very nice to end up getting that early goal. We're pretty much guaranteed to be champions now. Ooh. Gerrard almost making a mistake there. Marco almost getting his brace. Hines to Loffy. Loffy to Foston. Foston. Do I appreciate the support? Complete and utter arse. How is life treating you, my friend? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going saucy? Is life treating you good? I seen that thing in Germany talk about Silk Song Cherry. Has been working on for 6 years and it's finally coming out. Thought you might like it. I didn't know about it. I played Hollow Knight. Oh, Marco, you're on form now. If that counts. Does that count? Nah, I didn't think so. I played Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is a very, very good game. I beat most of the bosses in Hollow Knight. I wasn't able to beat the Nightmare version of Grim. And I wasn't able to get the true ending, because any guys who were able to do that true ending, fair play to you doing the boss rush of boss rushes. But I highly recommend Hollow Knight. And as a result of which, based on the snippets they're after giving us there, I would highly recommend you look into Silksong. It looks like it's going to be good. It was the second leg. We were 0-0 first game and 0-1 in Stockholm. So Hamburg. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend Linus. It's annoying to hear that you end up getting knocked out over people just not performing properly and making it a dead game. But it is the way that ends up going. And I'll have you know, Doom, we aren't known as the crackers. We are known as the addicts. Because if we ended up calling us that first name, people would end up calling us racist. It's tomorrow. Not too bad. Gals are giving is lots. Nice. It's a pleasure to hear that the birds are the chickens are laying the way they want to. All the more reason. Not really. I mean, if a game is good, it ends up doing phenomenally well. I'm not shocked at all to hear that game has 10 million people purchasing it, to be honest. Like, it's been a phenomenon. I'd say if you got the numbers of Among Us as well, it's probably reached the same, if not more, in its viewing points as well. Like, Peak has been doing phenomenally well for itself. Plus, it's far easier prospect to sell a meme game, which it isn't. It's an actual competent game, but it got its meme potentials of people playing it for 22 quid than it would be for selling a game of the same prevalence for 50. Like, Clear Obscure Expedition 33 has sold maybe 8 million, I think is what it's at. But that's because it's 50 euro, you know? Yes, Skull, the Cherry is the guys who make Hollow Knight. Oh, crikey. Not only am I winning, Doom, I'm annihilating. We're winning with greatness here. Laffy putting in a fantastic performance, which is beautiful for him because he doesn't normally play in this position. We normally play Laffy in one of these two positions down here, so he's playing above his station now to where he's normally been, you know? So it's good to see that happening as well. And knowing that two of our players are pretty much injured, there's no point taking the risk at this point. We'll take Marco off, we'll put Pedro on, we'll take Lebe off, we'll put Zerkri on. I don't like making two subs before half time, but it's the best thing to do when someone's down in that type of injury state. You don't want to take the risk, especially so close to the end of the season. But the formation's coming together. Just checked all 11 of our steamers. You poor man, Duck. I have never done a director of football save, so I've never been completely screwed like that before. God, Laffy's having the performance of his life tonight. He might have to be played in this position more often. Aaron to Hines. Hines directly to Zerkri. Zerkri then just passes straight to Laffy. Just straight cut through. Knife through butter. I guess now we see what Ruben Amorim's system can do when done properly. So, Duck, now that that's the case, what are the projections? What do you think you're going to be able to do? Are any of the players that you have left able to do a job, or are you just completely screwed 10 ways to Sunday, my friend? Okay. Franco. It is Franco, right? I always call him the wrong name. I call him Foston. No, it's Foston Matando. I call him Mastantino. By the way, we're performing... I'm going to jinx this immediately, but we're performing so good they haven't had a shot on us yet. Cool. Eduardo now. There to Franco. No, Foston. Laffy now still performing. Yes, we'll get the Champions League final today, Skull. Definitely. Because we only have 2 games before it, so it's this game and then one more game, and then we have the Champions League final versus Man City, and we see how things end up going there. Now, first half 4-0, 15 shots, 7 on target. We still need to find a way to improve that. But with that being said, we've done phenomenally well. The fact that one of the goals came out of a non-clear-cut chance is beautiful to see as well. Ironically, we haven't been fouling as much as we could be, considering how deep we end up doing in our attacking play. I should ask too, Linus, for Hambury, if you don't mind me asking. How are they looking this year for the league? Do they have an okay squad? Have they done any transfers that'll make them look anyways good? I know that the Swedish league is fairly already into it, so I think you're second at the moment or something like that. You're in and around that area there. So are you performing good in general, or is this a down period, or? Why, Skull? Is he in his own saves not been getting to the finals? Okay, so we performed really good there. So we can just say, happy we've gotten an awful lot of shots. Beautiful like that. Everyone is sound. We could make substitutions. And We only get 2 more substitutions because you can have 5 substitutions in 2 slots and in 3 turns of play. So I think what we do is because he has a card already on him, we take off Eduardo Camavinga and we put on Manuel Ugarte. I think we go with that, and then we wait and we use the last 2 subs when needed later on in the game. It does mean that we might be going without using all... have I won the league yet? Yeah, we won the league last year with Real Madrid. This year was meant to be the attempt to win the league and the Champions League and the other competitions, but Atletico knocked us out of one of them. But we're doing well. No, this is the game that could win us the league. Tomo, my friend, what's a crack-a-lacking with you? Good evening. What's a crack-a-lacking? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going saucy? How's life treating you, my friend? Skull, don't dare mention the Continental Cup final. I lost mine and still bitter. Oh, you mentioned it. How did you lose the Continental final? What ended up happening? Was it a card? Was it a misplay of unfortunate distinctions? What ended up happening, my friend, that caused you to lose the Continental final? Franco. Oh, God, a bar hit like that. By the way, Lottie, who never plays in this position, is after getting a hat-trick. I'll just note. Also, we have failed. We have failed in our objective in this match now. We have failed. We can be categorically called failures now. It doesn't matter that we're after winning this match 5-0. It doesn't matter that this 5-0 win would effectively guarantee us the champions position. None of this matters. We have failed simply because they have gotten a shot on us. They have gotten a shot on us. We have failed. This is a failure now. This isn't a good enough performance. Our domination streak has gone out the window. We're not all mighty monsters now. Still, 6-0 is bonkers. My memory is hazy, still a fog of angry steam in my head. I understand that. I'm not shocked at all about Garnacho turning down Bayern, because I don't think he'd get game time at Bayern, and I don't think he wants to leave England. I also think at this point he wants to be spiteful to United and pick a Premier League squad. But at the end of the day, United have to stick to their guns. If they don't get the 50 million quid they want for him with add-ons, if they don't get that, plonk his arse in the reserves for the year. Plonk his arse in the reserve for the year. He won't get playing for Argentina. Fair play, that's his fault for being a tit. By the way, Laffy is now on 4 goals. What the hell has he had in his Weetabix today? What has he had in his Weetabix today? I mean, I know this is a bad opposition, but holy crap, Laffy. I mean, we'll see. At the end of the day, supposedly the rumours are that Chelsea won't even stir an eyelid for him if it isn't 25 million, so... You know, who knows? We don't... At the end of the day, we hold all of the cards there. The way Chelsea is looking at it is we want money to sign people. If we wait until the final days of the window in order to get the 50 million, they can give the 50 million at the end of the window and we don't sign anyone. Win-win for them. They get the player they want for an okay amount that they can sell him for 15, for twice, if not a third of it in the next season. And we don't buy anyone. So... time will tell to see what ends up happening there, but I wouldn't be shocked myself if he doesn't end up being sold and he's plonked into reserves for the year. But to be honest, if he doesn't get sold and you can rectify it, I try and get him back into the team. And officially, we have the most amount of wins in Spanish League history in this particular save, and we are the champions for the 2nd year in a row. With 2 games left to go, we are doing well for ourselves. Champions of Spain. Now, can we make ourselves champions of Europe on top of that? 1 game before this, we'll see what ends up happening. And time will end up going. I could have sworn we had the champions as a blurb. No, so I suppose we'll do this instead. Sweet victory, yeah. 27 shots, 15 on target, a 4.14
Victory
XG.
screech!
Nice. We did fail a bit in them having 3 shots. But you do what you can. Okay, so that was a fantastic performance for us there. So Bob's your uncle happy out. Okay. Whatever. What a stupid question. We won the league. Why would I comment on him? In any negative formation. What a stupid question. But yes, now we've a double done. And we see how things end up going from here. 2 in a row of winning the league. I do not care that he has gotten an extra £1 million for scoring 20 league goals, because he scored 20 league goals. And we won the league. Lebe will probably be out for the next game. You're fine for an... Yeah, after that result, I'm not entirely surprised that you've you've cancelled the day off. I mean, it's funny that I technically have done it 2 years ahead of schedule because I've done it back to back, but fair play to you. I mean, winning it does count as challenging, I suppose. God, I didn't realize that the gap was that much. Holy crap. That can't be all of the people that have won. Holy crap. I've only 9 people won La Liga. That can't be true. No, I have to search that up. That can't be true. It has to have been more than 9 people. That league can't be that screwed. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No. Oh, no. Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Only 9 teams have won La Liga. And out of those 9 teams that have won it, there are a further 5 teams that have been runners-up. Out of the teams that have won it, only one of the teams isn't in the current station of La Liga, which is Deportivo La Coruña. Then, out of the 5 people who have been runners-up, only one of them is in La Liga at the moment, that being Villarreal. The others, Racing de Santander, Las Palmas, Zaragoza, and Sporting Gijón, are obviously in one of the lower league divisions. That's bonkers! I would not have guessed that. I would not have guessed that it was only 9 people that have won La Liga. I guess I need to I guess I need to update that story. Duck. Maybe I need to add an FM story too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying there. Villarreal are one of the only... They've never won it, but Villarreal came second. There are only 5 other teams that have come second, and Villarreal is the only one that's currently still in La Liga. That is fascinating to me. Now that I'm at that, here's a question. Winners of Ligue 1. Okay, Ligue 1. Is it more or less than the Spanish League? To be fair, Ligue 1 appears to have been around longer than the Spanish League. Even though it took a... Yeah, let's see. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28 winners of Ligue 1! There have been 28 winners of Ligue 1. And Paris Saint-Germain have only won it 13 times. The hell? That's bonkers! God, Bordeaux is a fallen empire, isn't it? Bordeaux isn't even in Ligue 1 anymore and has a capacity of 42,000 people. Was... Which one? Yeah. Monaco won it in 2016-17. Lille won it in 2020-21. God, I didn't realize that someone had stopped... I didn't realize someone had stopped PSG in the past 10 years. Fair play to Lille. Yeah, Montpellier won it in 2011-2012. That's fascinating. Montpellier won it, and then PSG went on their bloody monster run. That's fascinating to me. I'm half tempted to check bloody the Bundesliga now as well, but I also can't be arsed. Jinx Bun, thank you so much for the follow. Pleasure to have you, my friend. You just came in as I've been nerding out on history of football that I didn't know about. Oh, we're doing that. Hi. Pleasure to have you, my friend. King is one of the good ones. It is a pleasure to have you here. King is a great friend of the chat. Unfortunately, just so you know, the scariest thing you're ever going to end up viewing on either his stream or my stream happens to be my face. So, just be aware. But it's a pleasure to have you, my friend. How is life treating you? You have joined us as we have won the Spanish First Division, and as a result of which we went on a history tour to see how many people have won the Spanish League, with it only being 9, and me going absolutely gobsmacked at that idea. Not too bad. You need to do a wee bit of cleaning now every now and again. I hate it with a passion, but it is something that needs to be done. I love to. I'm just looking at the Bundesliga, and I don't want to bring this up again, but I'm just looking at the Bundesliga, and I love how the 16 seasons of one particular period in Germany are asterisked for everyone that won it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 teams have won the Bundesliga. Giving the room a good old reset. Yeah, you're doing the spring cleaning in autumn. Fair play to you. King, my friend, what's a crack-a-lackin'? Your good old friend Jinxed has come in and experienced the horror that is my face. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you, my friend? Oh, I'm happy to send on the love. I'll do you one even better. I'll do you one even better, King, now that you've arrived. Now, unfortunately, the clip of scene.gg is currently undergoing maintenance, so we're not going to get a nice little clip of your stream coming up at the moment. But we can get this little notification that ends up telling us how things are anyways. Well, it's a pleasure to have you. And a pleasure to have the crack and the whole lot. And on any of the other showcases that I have it on, be it Kick, be it TikTok, be it YouTube, you're more than willing to chat, more than willing to just watch. I'm always up for the crack, always up for the gish, always up for the good times. So it's a pleasure to have all of you. What are you streaming today yourself, King, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I've entered the Spanish Hall of Fame. I'm now in the Irish Hall of Fame, although I've never been a manager there. I'm now in the English Hall of Fame, and I'm now in the Spanish Hall of Fame, so I'm doing well. Oh, Jinxed, just so I'm saying, I'm just streaming on YouTube. I don't really have any videos up on YouTube yet. In the future, once I get anyways competent at YouTube, at video editing, I might end up doing videos. Probably more related to wrestling. That's the other area that I'm really, really interested in. Might have more of an interest in that than I would in football, even though I love Football Manager with a passion and just sit down here, passing the piss, enjoying the time. Pleasure to have you, my friend. Pleasure to have you, my friend. You can watch the one very, very bad video that's there at the moment. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, we do well. By the way, I hope to fix this with FM26, by the way. What are you meant to answer to this? Just... Sorry. Oh, shit. Yep. Just how proud are you to add the first division to the Real Madrid silver cabinet? What the fuck do you mean? Just how proud? It's the goddamn La Liga title. Well, thank you so much, Jinx. I genuinely appreciate it. Yeah, it's a special day for everyone at the club. I love how you're saying I've sealed the title, which is fantastic, but it's the second in a row, too, so that should be stated. What? After winning the first division, surely the board and fans are going to be even more demanding. Won't this pile extra pressure on you? His question. No comment. Oh, crikey. Yes, Laffy had a fantastic game. I mean, it hasn't been too bad now, to be honest. We have won the league title, as you can see here, hence the really bad questions. There have been people in here talking and enjoying the crack and feeling the breeze, so that's the way you want to end up having things going. And after the advice of someone off of TikTok there the last time, I think I have fixed the audio issues over there so that it no longer sounds like the past, the present, and the future at the same time. I'm listening to it now and it sounds sound, so I guess I'll find that out at some point. But you know, I'm just enjoying things. Trying to be bubbly, trying to be happy, and you know, drinking me water, my ishka. I mean, it's hard to do these anyways without them being the same question, Skull. because you do have to regurgitate them a bit. Without going into using an AI in order to do it. And even in these, they've used AI in some cases here because the question members often mix up little facts. Like, oftentimes you'll hear them turn around and say, I'm surprised you clicked that. You normally hate him.
Off is the direction you can fuck.
I still have to figure out how to get those particular ones to work on TikTok, so that'll be a future thing now that I've changed it. Anyways, 19 assists. He's been fantastic. I love Foston. He's one of the original young ones I found for 4 million quid. He has been a staple. Even though it's only 22 goals in 90 appearances, I'd say his assist rate is off the moon. I don't actually know if I can check his assist rate. History, milestones, no. Stats. 16 assists, 6 goals, 7, 11. Like, he's been bonkers. Bonkers for us since he joined. I mean, he's the captain, so. Anyway, that was a lot of stupid questions. You never said to me, King, are you streaming tonight yourself? Or what's the plan for you? Have you watched any of Gamescom? Are you excited for any of that? Our friend here, Skull, was mentioning Silk Song has finally been announced. It will be released some point this year or 2026. It's looking more like the release date will be 2026 than this year, but there will be a playable demo at one point this year. They've announced Doom, actually. Doom, for you, you might enjoy this. They've announced Warhammer Dawn of War 4. Now, I don't know if Warhammer Dawn of War 4 is a Warhammer or a Warhammer 40k. That I don't know. But they have Warhammer Dawn of War 4 coming out. And it interests me because I'm not big into RTSs, but it looks very interesting, especially with the re-release of Dawn of War. So we'll see what's going to end up happening. I watched some of it off of a couple of streams, but then I ended up streaming myself, so I've missed bits at the end of it. But it has the only problem with Gamescom this year is the crowd were deader than dead. Deader than dead. It is bonkers how dead that crowd was. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'll probably avoid it, to be honest, because if I'm going to get the game, I'm going to get the game. But we'll see. We'll see. I might change my mind on that one either. I don't know what you can do for the likes of Gamescom to improve the audience. Because it definitely mattered there. And it's unfortunate that some of the stuff that was announced there was a bit iffy. Like, Monster Hunter Rise. It is Rise, isn't it? No, Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds announcing that they're doing a collab with Final Fantasy 14. Fine. Fine. But at the end of the day, you needed to fix that game. You needed to fix that game. So, like, people, you should have fixed the issues with the game before you ended up doing that collab. But that might be just being a bit too prickly, I suppose. Oh, whatever, fine. I don't know, Skull, whether or not the demo coming out on Friday means that the game would be released this year. It very much could do. Silksong will be good anyway. It would want to be, considering they spent a lot longer on it than they were meant to. It's shocking, actually, that that game has been taking 6 years to work on. But Team Cherry's a good team. And it's nice to see that they're actually, like, doing stuff, you know? So, it'll be interesting. Will I end up getting it initially? It'll depend on the price. If Silk Song comes out and it's 50 quid, I might ignore it, to be honest. And wait for it to go into a discount. Sorry, Oscar, you're not getting it. Sorry, you're not getting it, Oscar. You have an extension, you're not getting it. I'm a bit of an ass when it comes down to contracts. I try to sink out as much money as I can, even though we're in a very good financial situation at the moment. Even though that's really funny that the transfer budget is higher than our overall balance, but yeah, whatever, I don't really care. I mean, who knows? At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, Skull. As long as the game comes out and they're ready for it to come out, it should be good. It should be a good bit of crack. So we'll see what ends up happening with it. It might be me, but the Black Ops hype for Black Ops 7, I'm just not feeling anything off of it. It feels very drab and lackadaisical in the way they've gone about it. I don't know if anyone else ends up feeling. Now, I'm not into Call of Duty, so I'm an entirely different kettle of fish for that. But it just feels very wooden, the entirety of the promotion for that game. And it's odd to me that it just feels that way. Like, I know they're adding back in the, also by the way, highest amount of points that Real Madrid have ever had. We're about to pass it. And we have the most amount of wins ever done in the first division. It's ironic that we have the most amount of wins ever done in the first division, and yet we haven't beaten the overall point total yet. The next game is going to beat both, but never mind that. But yeah, no, they have the zombies in there, and they have the tactical mode in there, and the whole lot, but it's just the advertising of that game seems so odd. Speaking of odd, Ben, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you? How are you doing, my friend? Is life going well? Is life going grand? Is it all going saucy? I'm doing grand, to be honest. I'm happy to be streaming. There's a good buzz here today with the people that are in the chat. We're all talking about bits, bobs, and everything. And I'm just happy to keep going at it. What about yourself? Have you been playing anything recently? Were you happy with the display from the weekend there? Did you think United performed better than you were expecting? Or were you underwhelmed? Or were you simply whelmed with the way we ended up performing? MP and Zombies gameplay isn't fully released till the 30th of September. They confirmed Arcade Zombies are back. Yeah, they basically just made Black Ops 4 again. Like, they basically just made Black Ops 4 again, which is what makes it so weird to me. It just doesn't feel big. I don't know, just the marketing in that game seems odd. But then again, Call of Duty's kind of just shot itself in the foot releasing every year. But it's Treyarch this time, and Treyarch typically make a good shooting game, so I suppose we'll see. The future setting of 2035 doesn't really feel good to me either, because it is only 10 years in the future, and it feels a wee bit too much like a dissociation of society for that to be the case. The society could be like that in 10 years. Look at what happened over the last fucking 8. But, I don't know. It just feels odd. We played well, but were robbed. I mean, yeah. But I don't think we deserved to win it, Ben. I think the proper result was a 1-1. Simply because they got that goal and Blinder made the mistake. I wouldn't take that goal away from them. I think if they didn't score that goal, we deserved the penalty. We deserved a goal. because we were attacking well enough for it. I'll die on my hill and say that Mount was the best player on the pitch, and I know I'm going to get some. I know I'm going to get some backlash on that. But I thought in general we performed well, and it will deter. My big question will be how we play against Fulham. If we perform good against Fulham, then we're on the up. If we lower our standards against Fulham, I worry. Hopefully, we're able to keep that strength, that of character, that will of want and desire, and end up going down to it. It appears as though, for the first time since Jose Mourinho first joined the club, there's an actual culture of enjoyment amongst the players. They seem to actually like each other again. Maybe them getting thrown out, the dead wood, the obnoxious problems are the way to do it. The Orlando Pirates board have announced today that they've granted planning permission to build a new stadium. Construction of the Dylan Pickford Park, named in honor of the club's greatest manager, will cost $30.5 million. Although the figure is offset by $2.8 million the club will receive by selling the Orlando stadium. The board have secured a loan of $23 million to help finance the stadium. Additional funding for the project has been secured through stadium sponsorship. Deal worth $15.25 million, of $4 million raised by enabling the development of the site to proposed stadium. Which begs the question, why, if it's being sponsored deal, is it not called something else? Still, 57.5 thousand seat arena is a nice arena, so fair play to you, Duck. You've gotten a good stadium there. But yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. I will say, one of the things that annoyed me about our performance this weekend, and to be fair to him, he's gone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But the fact that the stubborn prick didn't play either Obi or Rasmus up front and went for the 3 false nines pissed me off royally. But at the same point in time, they worked okay with each other. I just hate seeing 3 false nines. And that's effectively what the tens were. I mean, I understand why you couldn't, Ben, because in theory, when it comes down to it, you do, especially when traveling, even though it is only Germany to bloody England, when traveling down there, getting your new home set up, getting everything done, getting everything constituted, there is an awful lot of pressure and an awful lot of build-up and an awful lot of going on in the back of your mind. Gyökeres was there a week later for Arsenal than we had gotten Šeško. So that's the reason I understand it. If Šeško doesn't start against Fulham, something's wrong. And if Šeško doesn't start against Fulham, fine. But if Obi or Højlund doesn't start against Fulham, shoot Amram in the head. Benny, my friend, what's a crack-a-lack and how have you been doing today? Is it all going good? Is it all going grand? Is it all going delicious? I hear that you are an addict of the crack, Benny. I hear you're a lover of the crack. Don't worry, the crack is here for you. It's all sound. It's all grand. The crack will end up being there for you forever. And of course, the crack will always remind you that things are grand, things are good. He is, of course, stupid and sexy. And of course, more than even that, more than even the fact that the crack that you love so much is stupid and sexy, the crack will always remind you that MLS means my lose, Kelly. Get the boat in. I don't know what the deal was with Gyökeres. Gyökeres looked... Now, to be fair, Luke Shaw had him pocketed, but Gyökeres looked off, I'll admit, during that game. I think he's gone, to be honest, but we'll see. And then until the fat lady sings, he's still a United player. Aw, million. I try. I mean, you lie, but I try. By the way, Million. This is my reaction to that statement. Just so you know for yourself. Thank you, I try. I fail most of the time, but I try. I hope you feel less wiped out later on, Benny. So let me let my tranquil voice let you enjoy it for the moment. It is funny, Skull, that you mentioned Isak saying that he can't continue to play for Newcastle because Isak is on strike to get out of Newcastle and Weza is on strike to get into Newcastle. So that's really, really funny. I mean, you can't blame Chelsea for trying to get a cheap deal out of it. They know we want to sign more players. They know we need the money. So they're trying to get a cheap deal out of it. I think, honestly, fuck them. Hold Garnacho. Don't sell for less than 50 million. And if Chelsea don't give the 50 million, especially since Garnacho told Bayern Munich to piss off, plonk his arse in the reserves. He's on 90k a week. We can afford it. Honestly. Well, I hope you do, Benny. I hope you do. Yeah, but that means diddly squat. The man has a 3-year contract. I also want to be Mr. Universe, you know? Ta-da! Now, for forcing me to do that, Jinxie, you can, yeah. But I kid, of course, I kid. I have to come up with more of them. Like, ironically enough, I don't have it on this dashboard, and I'm afraid to play it because of how loud it is. But the Pyro is one that I used to end up having there, that I could end up clicking as well. I haven't found a reason to use that in a while, the Batista Pyro. It is technically a channel point, but I don't have it down here to use on my own free will. Anyways, I'm an hour in. I suppose I should start the second match. We have Man City a week afterwards. Anyone who is unfit or injured, we want to kind of not play. Ard in particular, so we'll swap Ard for you. And we'll continue with that front line. Loffy played too good to even be considered to be dropped. He has to perform there after getting 4 goals in the last game. Boston kinda should, but I think we need to give Edmund a go. Diaby played well in the last game, but I think we swap him with William. I think we give Andreas to play. No. Yeah, where does Andreas play? Andreas plays there, there, and there. Okay. We'll swap Andreas with Bellingham to give him a go. We will go with... Yeah. We'll give Dier a go. I think this might be one of Dier's first games. Ben, I love that you mentioned that. Rabiot has been offered to United every single year for the past 5 years. It's hilarious how often that asshole is offered to us. The problem is, United would have no problem going for Rabiot. Rabiot won't come to United for less than 240,000 quid a week. And we know this because this has been the problem. Every year we have been linked with him because we've talked to him. Every year we've been linked to him and he won't budge on that 250,000 quid a week. And he's not worth it. He's good, but he's definitely not worth that. I refuse to comment. I know his mother's his agent, but I refuse to comment on that. I love, too, how Sergio Rivera, like this arsehole here, by the way, this arsehole here, who is not at all good enough, is on a weekly wage. Anyone can come in and just take him. Anyone can come in and just take him. He's on a rolling contract. I tried to give him a contract, and he wanted 210,000 quid a week. And he's literally been sat with us. I'd say, yeah, like he's almost 200 appearances, Richard said. He's been sat with us for about 2 years now, with no contract offered to him at 65 quid a week when he could go anywhere he wants. It's hilarious. The really funny thing about it is I've actually used him too. I've actually been forced to use him. So if Newcastle doesn't sell Isak, surely with him saying the club has lied to him means they could say you're never playing for us again. Try that one again, Skull, because I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that. If Isak refuses to play for Newcastle whilst contracted for Newcastle, Newcastle can take him to court. And Newcastle can basically make it so that he's not allowed to play for any other club in the world. Because although the initial agreement was that Newcastle would improve their ranks for Isak to play with them, there is not to my knowledge, there is not an out clause in his contract that states they have to let him leave if they haven't done X, Y, Z. As a result of that not being there, it's a gentleman's agreement, and thusly, but you, no. If Newcastle doesn't end up selling him, they do what we did with Sancho, but Newcastle don't want to do that. The difference between the Newcastle situation with Isak and our situation with Sancho is we don't want Sancho. They want Isak. We don't want Sancho to play. They want Isak to play. We don't want Sancho in Carrington. Never mind in a Manchester United shirt on the fucking pitch. They want Isak in the starting lineup. That is the big difference. In this particular case, Newcastle hold all of the dimes, and Isak can do absolutely nothing about it. Now, the fact that he's coming out and being a petulant tit about it means that by right, they should nuke his career and put him into the bloody reserves. But before the end of the season, Liverpool are going to come back in and offer 150 million for him, so he's going to get sold. He's going to get sold. Newcastle are just going to play hardball. So he's going to get sold. It's just a matter of if Newcastle can get Weza. If Newcastle get Weza, he'll get sold the next day, I'd say. At this current moment in time, it's all about Brighton. Not Brighton. Bournemouth. Or Weza's Bournemouth, isn't he? Yeah, it's all about Bournemouth. No, he's not. He's not worth 150 million quid, but there hasn't been a striker, Brentford, sorry. There hasn't been a striker sold this transfer window that's worth the price they've been sold for. I love João Pedro. I think he's going to be a really good player. João Pedro's not worth 60. I like Victor Gyökeres. He's not worth 60. I like Benjamin Sesko. He's not worth 70. I like Alexander Isak. He's not worth 150. I like Victor Osimhen. He's worth 40, but he's not worth it to Galatasaray. So, you know, yeah, he's probably the only one that went for his value and then he went to a club that he shouldn't have went to. So, you know, what can you do? Although there's a really dark horse that no one's really talking about. Galatasaray there are looking to get Edison out of Man City. Which, if that sale happens, do not be shocked if Man City go in for Donnarumma. But if Galatasaray got Edison. Or God forbid they somehow managed to hollywink Porto to get Diego Costa for 19 million quid, which I don't believe for an instant. I think they have a legitimate chance of surprising people in the Champions League. I won't go as far as to say they're going to win the goddamn thing, but I think they might do better than people would think, if I'm honest. I mean, that's what they're looking for. 10 to 15 million, I think, with add-ons. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Šeško could be Højlund in 2 years' time. We'll hope that he won't be, but he could be. I've gone really weak with the squad, by the way. But we'll see how things end up going. I don't think I've asked you before, by the way, Sir Million, if you are still here. Who do you support yourself? Luton. Ooh, interesting. Did Luton get double relegated? Was it Luton that got the double relegation? Table. Yes. At least you have 9 points in League One. Surely you have to be the best team in League One, though. Like, have you lost many of your... I haven't been paying attention to you. Is the manager you have at Luton now still the manager you had in the Premier League? Or is this a new regime that's coming in now? And how many of the players do you still have? Because I liked Luton when you were in the Premier League because you performed an expansive, dangerous game of football. Now, it's also the reason why you got relegated. But I liked you there. So we'll see what ends up happening. I will say, I feel sorry for Wrexham. Speaking of teams, I feel sorry for Wrexham because I think that team is a good team, but they've just gotten unlucky in those first 2 games. Like, they probably deserve to win against Southampton, even though, like, Southampton dominated the game. And I didn't watch the West Brom game, but I never throw any hope for West Brom, so... So we only have a few Prem players left, like Rob Edwards was coaching us the Prem, but in the Championship he switched up style of play and was rewarded bad behaviour, so we sacked him and Matt Bloomfield. I mean, I have heard okay things about Matt Bloomfield, but I don't know enough about him to be able to comment whether or not he'll get you anything. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up going for you. Matt's really young though, isn't he? Like, Matt's something like 30, isn't he? Matt Bloomfield. Or am I getting him mixed up with someone entirely different? He's 41. Yeah, he's very young. He's the League One version of our... Oh, God, man. God, man. You really don't want to be making that equation. That means you're never getting... promoted. You'll always miss out. You'll be second every time. Especially in League One, where you actually need to be in the top to get promoted. Oh no, your second does get promoted. So fair enough, you might get promoted a second. I joke, obviously. Like, I think Arteta probably has a good chance of winning the league this year. Nice, Andreas. Simon Grayson. Oh. Although, I'm shocked they didn't score that. Benny, are you still alive? Are you still in the chat, or are you gone lurking? Because, question for you if you are still here. And for the rest of you, actually, if you think. for you in particular, if you're still here, Benny, do you think Graham Potter survives till Christmas? I don't. And I actually think he's going to be the first manager sacked. Him or David Moyes. I know a couple of people had Daniel Farke put down as the first manager to get sacked, the one from Leeds. And obviously you never want to talk about people losing their jobs, but it's an inevitability that people get sacked in the Premier League, unfortunately. But I genuinely think, I don't know. I think just for the reaction alone, the piss off the referee association might have been enough to get him sacked, to be honest, if he continues to do that. This season and last season, he played our best striker at Leeds. Hold on. Bro, this season and last season, he played our best striker at least 4 times. The rest of the games he played... Okay. So, the reaction immediately to that, Million, is...
What happened?
Did it work? Did it at least work? I'm guessing when you say you still have him to get sacked first, you mean Daniel Farke, is it? Or is it Moyes? Because I also wouldn't be shocked, depending on how these first 6 games go, if it's Amarin, to be honest. Yeah, but in the other positions, it probably wouldn't be his job to score goals. If he ended up being defensively orientated enough and solid enough for it, then that'd be sound. Fair quad, yeah. I hope so. Doom. I hope that Rumen performs great and that we actually perform the way that we need to. Fulham will be the decider. Fulham will be the decider. How we play against Fulham will be the decider. Because we went defensive against Arsenal, and that works for Arsenal. And if he's going to be tactically nuking or twinking, that's fine. Fuck. But we need to have a good win against Fulham. That's a crap. That was a horrible goal to concede. Okay, who was it that scored that? Scout him anyway, I suppose. We need to make some subs immediately. That's what I get for trying Pedro up front. We'll put Enric on, give him some game time. I mean, I'm not taking the risk. Jude there. We'll go with that for now. That should be enough for us to cannon back in and end up getting our win. I mean, Skull, you can say that all you bloody want to. You don't get that level of time now. So, how are you, Benny? Did you get my question or did you miss it? Because I was asking, do you think Potter makes it to Christmas? No, don't apologize. Never apologize for something like that. Like you're not obligated to always be listening, my friend. It's not about the game, though. It's not about the game. It's about the rumblings. It's about the rumblings that seem to be and you're more of a West Ham fan than me, so maybe you know. It just sounds like the camp have already given up on him. It sounds like the players have already revolted against him. Oh, fair enough. I don't know. It sounds like he's already lost the locker room and the whole lot. But we'll see. You'll have to let me know when you watch some of the games if he actually ends up performing better. Hampshire United. Is that what West Ham actually means? Is it West Hampshire United? Just a blank no. I think that might have pissed off Benny a bit. We're performing shite, by the way. I give up. Like, what the fuck is that goal?
Off is the direction you can fuck.
What was that goal? Holy crap, that is some goal. Why the 12th of November, if you don't mind me asking, Million? That's an interesting date to pick. I mean, for that's good as reason as any. Just seems like a reasonable date. I mean, I will say, if there's any club I feel really, really sorry for, it's Crystal Palace. Because I think in the next 13 days, Palace are going to end up losing Eze, Guehi, and potentially Mateta as well. And it's unfortunate for them. Because I think Palace is a good team. I think Palace is a good team, and I think it's unfortunate to see that they're going to get their arses handed to them, like, completely and utterly ripped asunder. Because I have a special place in my heart for Palace due to this save, funnily enough. But at the same time, it's just, I don't think they do, Million. Not if they lose all those players. If they lose Guehi, if they lose Eze, I think they might be screwed. And, like, if it's true that we somehow managed to strike a deal with them for Wharton, like, what the hell would end up happening then? Tensions start rising at the end of October. Then he picks up a win, then goes on a losing streak. 12 seems reasonable. Maybe. Again, too early to tell. But I don't know. What is Mbappe's new number, by the way, Skull? You seem to know. I haven't a clue what it is. Also, it was a penalty, so it's hardly, like, the most, fascinating of goals to get. I think Palace going to get ridded soon. Shocked it happened. Hasn't happened sooner. I mean, are you? I figured you were joking, Benny. Although, funnily enough, if I ever did, I would be the child that if I bothered to get fit enough when I was young and went into football, I would have been the child that asked for the 69 number. I know I'm playing as them, so I know very little about Real Madrid. I was going to say, how iconic is the number 10 for Real Madrid? Like, would number 10 be their most iconic number? Because it's interesting. Like, to be fair to Mbappe, like, the sad truth of the matter is Mbappe probably is the best player in the world. He probably is the best player in the world. He's overrated. But he does so much. Like, it's hard to know. like, so I think Salah this season. Well, Salah should win the Ballon d'Or, so that ends the conversation anyway. But I'm just, in terms of his age and the whole lot, I'm not sure. It's not like Lamal for an 18-year-old is bonkers, but you can still see the elements of his game that are raw. Lamal is definitely the player with the most amount of potential in the world at the moment. I think the player that's, and again, like, you're in Real Madrid, you're surrounded by so much bloody awesomeness, it's hard to bloody say anyway. I think the player whose profile has dropped off the most is Jude Bellingham. That might partially be because of his own hype. But there's the thing about Mbappe. Like, we're both right and wrong, Benny, because, like, he scored 30 goals last season. Like, that's incredible. Like we expected off of him, but he scored 30 fucking goals. There are two players that scored more goals than him in the world. Harry Kane and I think Haaland. I know Haaland had a bad season last season, but I'm almost positive he reached 30 goals last season as well. Which is insane to say that he had a bad season and he might have scored 30 goals. Was it 22-24? But like Mbappe had a very good season last season. Like, Mbappe's, like, we want Mbappe to do bad because he has always been recognized as one of the best in the world. It's kind of like Neymar. Neymar was definitely in the same equation as Ronaldo and Messi. He was. But he was also an incredible asshole, and nobody wanted to admit it. And he made some interesting career decisions that means he'll never be in that same light. It's the same thing as Robert Lewandowski and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Because of their career decisions, people will never end up associating them properly. Mbappe had to leave PSG, both for him and for PSG. But Mbappe has never been bad anywhere he has went. And even in the season where he joined Real Madrid and he didn't mesh with them, he still scored 29 goals. Like, that's why I say there's a discussion for it. I don't watch Real Madrid enough to be able to comment on his game. But he's definitely in the equation for one of the best players in the world at the moment. Like, Real Madrid are just such a cohesive unit that you don't know who's the best player in their team. They have so much brilliance. You've Vinicius Jr., Tchouaméni, Valverde, Guller, Eduardo Camavinga, bloody Mbappe. Now they have the wing-backs to actually help things up. They have so much hyped talent in there. It's hard to differentiate the bloody cream from the crop. Liverpool have fantastic talent in them, but Salah is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best player in that Liverpool squad. I don't think anyone can argue that. Even with the signings they've made now, Salah is still the best player in their squad. You can't make that declaration with Real Madrid because it could be Mbappe, it could be Guller, it could be Junior. What, you think Florian Wirtz is better than Salah, do you? Alexis McAllister. Why? He's not even the best person in their midfield. He's now going to be their third, fourth choice midfielder. Do you think so? Fair enough. I didn't watch Liverpool enough to be able to give a comment about it, but that's fair enough. But he's not even going to be their third. He's not even going to be their third choice midfielder. It's going to be Ryan Gravenbach in front of him, and then they're going to choose Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz, and then Harvey Elliott. Even though they're trying to sell Harvey Elliott will get picked before McAllister at the moment, I think. I could be over egging the pudding here quite a significant amount. I don't know about that, Million. I genuinely don't know about that. I don't know whether he... Well... Is it, like, let's be fair. Is it with Gravenbach that he's inconsistent? Or is it with Gravenbach that he's injury prone? I think it might be that he's injury prone more than he's inconsistent. Both are annoying. Maybe. I think it's injury prone more than inconsistent, but I'll lay down on that hill for you. By the way, we have broken the record for the most amount of points won in La Liga, and look at that goal difference. Barcelona's still on our arses, by the way. Imagine getting second. Imagine getting second in the goddamn league, and you got 102 points. You broke the century mark in the top league, and you got second. Like, I know this happened with Wrexham, but still, that's bonkers. That's genuinely bonkers. And that's how tight Barcelona have always been to us. They've been monsters. They've made a couple of surprising signings, specifically in this season, that have honestly made them weaker than they were the season before. But still, that is a bonkers levels of on your arse. He was the best performing midfielder in the league, in my opinion. Most important to Liverpool. Caicedo was better than So I'm gonna say something that you're gonna say something that you're gonna hate me for, Million. I don't even think Caicedo is the best person in his own team. I genuinely think as a player, Enzo Fernandez is better than Caicedo. And might get hate for that, but I think Endo is one of the best signings that's been done in the Premier League in a long time, because more clubs should do those type of signings. A cheap 25 million euro signing for someone no one has heard of and does the job. Like, if we could get an Endo now and plonk him into the spot there with Casemiro or Menu, Bob's your uncle happy out, I don't give a fuck. Fifth? How the hell? Oh, do you have a screenshot of that, Doc? How did you get 104 points and came fifth? As a 6, Caicedo was the best 6 last season. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Gravenberch was Liverpool and the league's best number 6 last season. I mean, I don't know. Well, that's kind of my... I don't know. Well, Skull, Liverpool won the league. Yeah. Like, that's probably the reason why Caicedo isn't in the team of the year. But it's hard to say. We'll see. Caicedo's true worth of the man. The true worth of the man will come out this year with Moise Caicedo. Because this is the year Liverpool can challenge. Or not Liverpool, Chelsea can challenge. I still think they need a goalkeeper. But this is the year they can challenge. And Caicedo will be a massive part of that. Can I be honest? I think Rice is slightly overrated. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you that he's better than Caicedo, because I think Caicedo's overrated as well. But, I think Rice is overrated. Once he betters his IQ, Caicedo would be consistently stay best CDM in the world for next 2 seasons. I mean, you're not wrong on that, Million. You're not wrong on that. Boss, I don't think he has time to better his IQ. And I don't think he'll be given the chance to better his IQ. Not under this Chelsea regime. I think under this Chelsea regime, if Caicedo doesn't continue to do that now, remarkably quick, he'll be out the door before you know it. Now, there is a discussion to be made too, that the actual best number 6 in the league is last season, is the number 6 that was gone for half the season. Because the fact that he was gone for half the season meant that the club sank like a bloody boat. So there is an actual conversation to be had that nobody wants to have. Was Rodri the best CDM in the league? Because he performed the best for the period of time that he was there. I think for the 3 months that Rodri was fit, he was better than Moise Caicedo and better than Rice and better than Gravenberch. You're right that if you don't play, you can't be the best. But is there the conversation to be had, if we're like just legitimately, just as conversation starters, that 3-month period was better than the entirety of the combination of the stuff that everyone else ended up doing there? I think there's a conversation to be had about it. I don't think he should win the award for it, but I do think he shouldn't be forgotten in that conversation. And if he's 100% over the injury and can perform this season, let's see what happens. Like, time will tell. But I think we can all agree. That it doesn't matter who was the best 6. It doesn't matter who was the best midfielder. It doesn't matter who was the best in any other position, because the best player in the entirety of the Premier League last season, this season, and every season forthcoming I love how you knew it before I got to it.
Off is the direction you can fuck.
By the way, you're just wrong on that, Million, but fair enough. I think ironically, the best left back in the world isn't even playing at left back at the moment. I think ironically, the best left back in the world at the moment is Eduardo Camavinga, and he's not even going to be playing there. Funnily enough, because Alvaro Fernandez has gone in and taken the actual spot as an actual left back. But the way he performed at left back was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal last season. I actually think it might have been Eduardo Camavinga based on last year. But we'll see. But at the end of the day, Miles Lewis-Skelly is a very, very, very good player. There's a reason why I make the joke. Don't do that, Benny. Don't do that. Like, legitimately, you can have the fun you want to, but like that mightn't be him trolling. That could be actual discourse. Once you know he's trolling, then fair enough. Like, I was in a Discord call with Benny last night in Skull 2.0, and I did well not to copy Crack's MLS joke. Yeah, fair enough. But we'll see what ends up happening. There's a lot of exciting... What's this? Oh, Jesus, he actually made the 8 point. This is the first player I've ever seen actually beat the training thing that I've done. I mean, you didn't get banned or anything. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting left backs in the league this year, and we'll see what ends up happening. I think Patrick Dogu looks very, very, very good. Whether or not he can be one of the best in the league, we'll see. Time will tell. But I think Patrick Dogu looks very, very good. I think Rico Lewis is going to surprise an awful lot of people. But for some reason, even though he was on the left for most of his career, they seem to be playing him on the right now. Which makes no sense to me, but whatever. But there are a lot of good ones, so we'll see what ends up happening. Dogu was the third best LB in the Big Six last season. He wasn't really. Like, he got slattered for his performances last year, but it was his first season in, and it wasn't really fair. Also, by the way, has he gotten sacked yet? Christ. Okay. No, Carrick is still the manager. Fair enough. Oh, Quinn Lash has won player of the season. Interesting. Means the loan went well. I mean, I said if the opportunity ended up coming at the end of this season, I'd move over to United next. So yeah. United fans are very reactionary, though. Every time I watched him, he was brilliant. The problem, I'd say, Million, is the big problem we had last season was the fact we didn't have a left back. For some goddamn reason, we didn't have a left back for half of the seasons. When Dogu came in, literal shit in a stick would have been better than what was there. So if you were watching him, anything was better than what was doing it, because Delo is not a left back. And I hate that they keep putting him as a fucking left back. I know he played as a left back, but he's not a left back, and he can't do the bloody job. TikTok, and to be fair, it was for charity. I don't want to be too mean on Shaw. I understand why people are mean on Shaw, but I don't want to be too mean on Shaw. The biggest problem with Shaw was that he went to the bloody Euros. Tit. But it's one of those situations of Dogu's still really young, still needs to learn. I don't think you should be ultra harsh on any player until they end up coming to 23 or have had 2.5 seasons in the club. Like, for example, Garnacho, if he hadn't nuked his career by fighting with the manager and having his brother be a dipshit and message on social media after the Europa League final, I would have been fine with Garnacho being given more leeway, bulking himself up and being a 10. I would have been fine with it. I was a critic of Garnacho for most of last season. Skull had many arguments with me, turning around stating that when I turned around and said that Garnacho isn't performing good enough and is one of the causes as to why we're performing so bad. So I'm always up for giving fair criticism, but you should be respectful of youth. Like, Mainu's season last season wasn't good in comparison to the season he had before with Ten Hag. That doesn't mean he should be thrown out with the water or anything like that, if you get my point. So, you know, everything takes context, everything takes time, and you need to discuss it and see how things end up going. going forward, but wasn't brilliant. And Crack can say I never said anything bad about him. Yeah, but I've never said anything bad about Doggo either, to be fair. I like the player. I just don't think he was good last season. I gotta... Actually, would you like me to put it on a stick so you can announce a new left back at Manchester United? Thanks for that, Benny. Thanks for that. I'll remember that the next time you tell me to go easy on the jokes. I mean, yeah. Well, one of my favorite players is one of Skull's most hated players. I really, really, really like Mason Mount. I really like Mason Mount. I think Mason Mount is a fantastic player. I think if he's able to maintain his fitness, I genuinely think Mason Mount could be a linchpin of that squad for years to come, to be honest. I know, Benny. But yeah, I didn't tell you to go and shit in a stick. Okay, fair enough. I didn't say that either, Benny. The Millennium Stadium. Where's the Millennium Stadium? Wales? Why the fuck is the Champions League final taking place in Wales? Oh, whatever. Why is it the Millennium Stadium and not the Principality? I mean, I don't have a problem with Shaw. I don't have a problem with Shaw, so long as he can stay fit. Shaw showed against Arsenal his ability to be one of the best in the world when he's fit. When he's fit. I don't like the way that he chose his priorities the last time. And I don't like that he turned around and he said that he preferred playing in the England squad as opposed to playing for the United squad. But at that point in time under Ten Hag, unfortunately, everyone hated playing for United. Is that on Ten Hag? Probably. It's more on the players as well. I can't understand why players can't end up doing it, but whatever. I think Shaw, when fit, is one of the best in his position, even as a bloody defender, never mind a left back. So we'll see what ends up happening. There's a reason he's getting picked over Maguire and Heaven. There's a reason why he's getting picked, and I think he'll continue to get picked so long as he's fit. I think he can be the best in the world. Million. I mean, yeah, but they're not stupid enough to say it. That's where I agree with his personality. Shaw's just an idiot. Like, Shaw's just an idiot. You don't be stupid enough to fucking say that you prefer playing for your international squad, especially when you injure yourself doing it. Yeah. And there's still a bit of that. Like, international football is still ingrained in the English culture. I'm Irish. We never were really good internationally, so it didn't really matter to us. It was just nice when we had players that would play for Ireland. Roy Keane kind of killed it for us when he turned around and told everyone to piss off during the 2002 World Cup. So now international football kind of has an air of regret. I mean, I kind of want to play Jason, but you've been gone for so long, I'm going to play Aaron. I'm also going to do this because... No, I'm not. Okay. I'm going to construct this team in a second. I'm just going to quickly go to Lou. So I'll be back in 1 second, my friends. You don't pick any of the English midfielders, do you not? That's interesting. I don't know. Like, Iniesta turned around and said that the best player he ever played against was Paul Scholes.
So, like, ooh. I mean, to each their own. Could a worse voice have popped up there, by the way? Yeah. And then both of them turned around and said they've never seen a player like, Giggs. And then they turned around and said the best captain they've ever played with was Roy Keane. Yeah, and then Mourinho and Ferguson turned around and said Lampard was the best player that was there. So, it's a really interesting conversation. I think, and this is kind of unfortunate, I think Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm going to get hated for this, is overrated because he played in a league that didn't have good midfielders. I think the quality of the midfielders that were around when Kevin De Bruyne was properly in the Premier League weren't up to his standards. And as a result of that, we don't know how good he would be in relation to the actual greats. Because other than the likes of maybe Bruno Fernandes, in terms of that midfield position, who do you compare De Bruyne to? If you get me. Or is that just me being a tit? Because that very well could just be me being a tit.
Like, Bruno wouldn't even be considered near the top. Like, Bruno, as good of a player as he is, like, he's never going to be considered a United legend. As good of a player as he is. And maybe... I mean, I don't know. The fact that you... Hold on a second, Million. The fact that you even bloody decided in your infinite wisdom to put James Milner as one of the options there tells you everything you need to know about the people that Kevin De Bruyne ended up fighting up against. Ozil wasn't... Ozil is a great midfielder, but he wasn't Ozil when he was with Arsenal. And I can't comment on Carla Silva. And Yaya Toure... I'd say he's overrated as well, to be honest. Like, I'm not going to go into a big argument about it. I just think there's a discussion to be had about the fact that Kevin De Bruyne might be overrated. Like, it's not a hill I'm willing to fight on. Just the point. Yeah, but he didn't compete properly with Cesc Fabregas and Mata. The only time he competed with Mata was when he was with United, and Mata wasn't Mata when he was with United. And I don't think he was ever on the pitch with Cesc Fabregas, was he? Again, I lie down to your wisdom on that one. I haven't followed Kevin De Bruyne's career well enough to know about it. I know he's been a linchpin of that Man City side. And I would argue that Kevin De Bruyne is only as good as Kevin De Bruyne is because Rodri was behind him. Now, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Ryan Giggs could only perform the way that he could perform because Paul Scholes was behind him. You know? I mean, maybe. Again, I'm not. It's not an argument I'm willing to. It's not an argument I'm willing to have. I don't know his career well enough to do it. But like, Sterling wasn't a bad player, and like the whole thing ended up connecting together. And I'm not a City fan, so like I could be talking with spite on this conversation. It's the reason why I'm the wrong person to talk about this. I didn't follow him well enough to have a conversation about it. I just think if you were to play Kevin De Bruyne in the same time period as the likes of Cesc Fabregas in his prime, Frank Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, King, I don't think he'd hang. And I'm happy to be wrong about that. Yeah, even Patrick Vieira, I think he wouldn't hang. I mean, yeah, he was. He was also one of the first signings that Moyes wanted to get for us. I remember that. It was Moyes' principal signing. He wanted us to get Cesc Fabregas and Gareth Bale were the two signings Moyes wanted us to get, and then he ended up getting Fellaini like a tit. Anyways, in we go to the final. I think we have to play Vinny. I don't think we have a choice. I think we have to play Vinny. Oh, we don't, I suppose. Do we play an unfit Vinny who's just after coming back from an injury? Or do we change the formation and put Bellingham over there and put Loffy there since Loffy's been performing so good? I think we do. I think we do this. I think we do this since Loffy's been performing so good. I always thought it was Van Gaal. No, it was Moyes. Moyes has outright turned around and said his first signings were Cesc Fabregas and Gareth Bale. And Gareth Bale was willing to join United if United would pay him 150,000 quid a week. And United refused to pay him the wage. Tottenham were willing to accept the 80 million. Chelsea were willing to accept the 50, and they would have gotten both of them. And United had the funds, but they weren't willing to pay the wage on either of them, based on what Moyes was saying. Yeah, but Bale is a notorious liar, by the way. I wouldn't believe anything Bale says. Was it Barca? I'm not 100%. Well, when did Moyes join United? Moyes joined United before that, didn't he? I'm on about Moyes' first season. So Moyes joined, 2013, 2014. Yeah. So, then we would have been buying him off of Barcelona. I'm not sure about that. Let me check. Says Fabregas. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Barcelona to Chelsea. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. So we were going for him out of Barcelona, not Chelsea. I just know the entire combined package was about 130 million. That's what I remember about it. When Moyes was on about it anyway. None of this matters, by the way, but like... Well, like, the first problem with Moyes was the dipshit came in and sacked every single member of Alex Ferguson's bloody management team. Like, I understand you want to bring in your own team, but you had won absolutely nothing. Bloody slowly changed the system that won the league with that fucking team. Because there's no way in the world, United should have won the Premier League title in Ferguson's retirement year. It shouldn't have happened. It simply shouldn't have happened. That was not a good enough team to win the league. I'm sorry. Look, let's be fair about Di Maria. The entirety of Di Maria's transfer was a fucking joke. It's unfortunate too, because he's one hell of a player. Anyways, he is playing shit. Okay, so Joaquin is our player. Well, it wasn't even that Di Maria never gave England a chance, it was his wife never gave England a chance. But Joaquin is our player. He's also phenomenally good. Le Breton is an interesting kettle of fish. He's one that was signed by Zidane. Or no, by... Who was the manager before Zidane? Yeah, by De Zerbi, who then left and Zidane ended up joining. So our player could end up being a problem here. They have a bonkersly strong team, by the way. So, wish us some luck. Because we're going to end up needing it. Will we, for 2 years in a row, lose the Champions League final? He got injured a lot. Then his house got broken into, so they moved country. Then, as soon as another club came knocking about, his miss wanted to skedaddle. Yeah, and to be honest, that's fair. It's fair. Like, I don't want to be mean to Di Maria. It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances that the entirety of that transfer just was a cluster. Like, nothing in that transfer went anywhere as well. But nothing in that first season went well anyways. I feel really sorry for Van Gaal because he performed a very pragmatic type of football, which would piss off the United fans anyway, and there's not really much you could end up doing. Now, my worry for us now is the more I listen to him, the more my confidence in Amorim fades away. There was a point in pre-season where I turned from a staunch Amorim in to a staunch, I don't know. Because we lost that game in the Asian tournament. And yes, that game didn't matter. But Amorim's reaction to that game pissed me off so royally that ever since then I've been hypercritical on what he's been saying, and he hasn't been saying the right things since. And I don't like his response to Arsenal. I don't care that we performed really good football. I'm happy about that as a fan. I don't want to hear the manager turning around saying we proved we could beat anyone on our day, and at least we're not performing boring football. I don't give a shit about you performing boring football. I want you to fucking win. That's all I want out of you. If you were able to do both, Bob's your uncle, happy out. Don't give me that second place horse crap of we can beat anyone on our day when you lose. Bloody win, and then say that statement. Say that statement when you win and you perform shite. Say that statement when you're Arsenal. His reaction during the pre-season when we lost 1-0 against the Asian combined 11 was, I see an improvement there. This wasn't a bad performance. This is a team that never performed with each other. Yes, we were tired. Yes, it was the end of the season. Yes, it's understandable that the United team aren't ready to perform, but they're not a fucking team. And I know it's post-season, post-pre-season, but that statement, my heart dropped for him. Because whether he meant it or not, that statement is the statement of a loser. That statement is a statement of a loser. And his statement against Arsenal is the statement of a person who doesn't have a problem being second. Now, English isn't his first language. Maybe he meant it differently, and he seems to have the support of the fans. Or not the fans, the players. So I'll give him all the time in the world. But I said it before the season, and I'll say it now. I think he has 7 points in these 6 games. I think he has 7 points in these 6 games. If he doesn't get over that, he's sacked. I don't think he has till Christmas. I think if he gets 7 points in 6 games, he's sacked. And we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's me being too much of a pessimist. Maybe that's me not having a clear idea of the United board. But that's me being brutally honest. I think if he gets 7 points out of these 6 games, he's sacked. I think he has to win one of Chelsea and City. I think he has to win both Fulham and Burnley. And we'll see. Anyways, it's time to start this. And yes, we will end up watching the full match. Interesting that they have the tape wrapped around their legs there for City. It's a weird look. This is based on the 2013-14 season, by the way. Yes, this is the Champions League final in the middle of Wales. This is our second straight year in a row getting the Champions League final. The winners last season, PSG, managed to get a victory out of us in this particular environment. City are one of 3 teams that have been our kryptonite, Barcelona being the other, Liverpool being 4 teams, Barcelona being the other, Atletico Madrid being the other, Liverpool being the other, and City then being it. Obviously PSG as well, but we've beaten PSG this season and it doesn't matter now. So we'll see what ends up happening. I don't think he's going to get another window, to be honest with you, Skull. I don't think he's going to get another window. I think if he starts failing now, he'll be sacked before the end of the window. I don't think he has the luxury of hoping for another window. I think he'll get to another window. I don't think he'll perform bad enough. I'm talking about the dead end scenario. I think we'll perform well against Fulham and Burnley, but I don't think he has the luxury of knowing he's getting to another window. We're performing good so far. We've definitely been on the front foot for this first 5 minutes of this game. City have been defensive, and we have been on their heels. We are definitely weaker on one side than the other, which is the reason why we're going down the right so much. I have a nasty feeling Turbin is going to have the hands of God today. But we'll see. I don't think he has the time for 3 years. I think we spent too much money this year for him to have the time for that. I don't think he has the time for it, honestly. United is a different beast than Liverpool. You useless dick. Who's 17? Faston, you dick. You almost gave them a goal. Well, okay. I think the United fans are going to be too harsh on him, and I think the media is going to be too harsh on him. Matty, my friend, what's a crack-a-lackin' with you? It's all good, it's all grand, it's all saucy. What's a crack-a-lackin' with you? Million, I think top 8 and one of the domestic cups would be acceptable. Otherwise, I think he has to get top 4. So we'll see. We are not performing. It's amazing how things can swap in 2 minutes. We were performing good for the first 5, and now we're performing bad. Happy with the game the other day, other than the fact that we lost. There were benefits. There were positives. There were negatives. At the end of the day, if we perform like that against Fulham, we should end up getting a win. And we need to perform like that against Fulham. He needs to play a striker against Fulham. If Sesko can't start, he needs to play Obi or Hoyland, or get rid of him if you're not keeping him. But he needs to play one of them, or Xerxes. But play a striker. Don't be doing the 3-10s. But there's a lot of positives. But I was just mentioning it there. There's elements of it that pissed me off as well. I didn't like his reaction after the game. His reaction after the game was the reaction of a loser. But, we'll see what ends up happening. Time will tell. Fulham will be his big decider. He can't perform bad against Fulham. I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening if he's fit, if Xerxes is fit. And I realize this is a waste of time and dead in the barrel already, but I actually think there's a higher ceiling in Hoyland than there is in Xerxes, so it annoys me that he's given up completely on Hoyland. But, water off a duck's back, no point worrying about it now. What the hell is Turbin doing there? What a goal by us. We were gifted a goal by Turbin just crapping the bed. Foston with a beautiful corner far close to the line. Turbin butchers himself and in there. We'll never know. Oh no, Bellingham's gone. Well, we're going back to the original formation, my friends. Maybe we should get Casper Schmeichel instead of Peter. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm of the opinion that Onana isn't as bad as people end up saying, and that with some good coaching, Onana can actually be a very good keeper. He's not best keeper in the world, and we do need to replace him. But I genuinely think Onana can do a job for us this season. Hoyland is so bad it pisses me off, genuinely. I don't agree, but at the end of the day, we'll see. An awful lot of the problem last season with Hoyland was Garnacho outright refused to pass it to him. Garnacho never passed it to Hoyland, and I was whinging about it consistently. Garnacho had the pass and would never do it. Bruno started doing far too many Hollywood passes, and towards the end of the season, for whatever fucking reason, and it had to be tactical, whenever Mount was on the pitch, Mount was ahead of Hoyland. Mount was ahead of Hoyland. The 10 was always in front of the fucking 9. I don't know why, but it happened. It happened throughout the entirety of the last season, and I don't think it was fair on Hoyland. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter now. He's going to be sold, so what can you do? I think with Mbeumo and Cunha, who will actually pass the ball, I think Hoyland would end up getting confidence back and would perform the way that he did in the Champions League. I think Onana's screw-ups in the Champions League the year beforehand screwed Hoyland, to be honest. I think annoyingly, as much as I actually like Onana, I think Onana screwed Hoyland, funnily enough. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Maybe it's an attitude issue. Maybe it's a performance issue. Maybe it's a work rate issue. Who knows? We'll never know. I don't think Amorim wanted to get rid of Hoyland. But I also think that Amorim needs money, and Hoyland is the easiest option to get rid of. Because we'll get more money for Hoyland than we will do for Xerxes. And there's less time on the contract for Hoyland than there is for Xerxes. So out of the two options that are there between Hoyland and Xerxes, the one that you choose is Hoyland. You need to get rid of one of them. Hoyland is the option you take. So I think it's an unfortunate circumstance if that ends up coming down. Now, I hope that it's a loan. And I hope that the option to buy isn't initiated and Hoyland performs excellently in that loan deal. If you're doing it at all. But we'll see. Because Bruno and everyone who has ever managed Bruno knows this. Bruno is a titan. He's never sick. He never complains. He's never not willing to work. He's always there. He's always stalwart behind whoever is behind him and will die for the badge. You don't sell players like Bruno. It's the reason why you don't sell the likes of McTominay. The Dutch FM, thank you so much for the raid. You are a gentleman and a scholar. How did your stream end up going, my friend? Did you get up to much? You have joined us in the final of the Champions League, where we are 1-0 up currently against... He never complains to the manager. Who cares about him complaining to the referee? And he's the captain. You kind of have to. But we're currently winning. This is our second back-to-back final of the Champions League, and we'll see what ends up happening. What have I? By the way, Duck, you'll have to explain to me what have I said there that isn't true, if you don't mind me asking. If you think it's drivel, that's fair enough. I just want to know what you think was drivel about it. But pleasure to have you here anyway, Dutch. Tell us a bit about the stream. How did it end up going? I mean, yes, the tactical shape I have here is Amorim's system, but done right. So it works phenomenally well, funnily enough. But to be fair, I have bought some of the best defenders in the world, and I needed to. But it has been performing really, really well for me, and the attack has been conglomerating surprisingly well to cause problems for everyone that's coming in. We have had one injury already with Bellingham going off, which is unfortunate, so Vinny is... tired, and that's the reason why he's struggling to end up meeting there. But we're doing good, and we're containing things at the moment. This isn't our best performance, but it's a performance that's working well. I feel that Hoyland is so quick, and we saw that during the preseason. He could use more pace. I think that's the thing. I think if Hoyland was given... if he was given 4 games during preseason, I think Hoyland would have been fine. I just don't get why he wasn't. And that's annoying to me because I think there's definitely someone there in Hoyland. Definitely, 100%. In my opinion, anyway. But hey, I'm a fan of him, so who knows? Maybe I'm just feeling the Liva Loca. We played the FMNL network save, which we do every Tuesday. Well, nice to end a pairing. And where is your standing on that save at the moment? All started spinning a wheel in Serie B. Currently still playing with an average of 8 managers every Tuesday. Well, I'm great to hear that. And slightly upset I was never invited. But yeah, who have you gotten, and how is it going? Yeah, I'm a fan of Hoyland too. We'll see how it goes. Maybe there's a chance he'll end up getting an opportunity. I legitimately think it was a situation if he just hasn't been passed to properly, and even during preseason we hadn't the proper midfielders in there to pass to him. Well, I think if he had scored that goal that rocketed off the side of the post in preseason, I think we'd be having an entirely different conversation now. And I think it's unfortunate that he didn't. By the way, what a save by Turbin. What a save by Turbin. I got Lecce, which is the worst side in Serie B, and right now 16th in Serie A. Well, to promote the worst side in Serie B up to Serie A is a fantastic thing to end up doing. Have you at least been given competent money to attempt to bring yourself up better? And of course, as we know, kicker is a phenomenal exchange of personality. It's nothing to do with the fact that he has Como. It's everything to do with the fact that he's just a phenomenal personality who's able to bring everyone together and enjoy it. You haven't been watching the game, Skull. You need to be paying more attention. Yes, we ended up getting a phenomenal goal from a mistake by Turbin after an amazing cross by one Faustin Mastano, who ended up coming in directly for a headed ball in by Enric, I believe. Turbin has been having a good game other than that one screw-up, so it's interesting to see how things are going. I'm third in Serie A right now. We're in the third season. Beautiful to hear. Are you in any European competitions yet, Kick? Or how has that been going? And how are you finding the network save type of things? Is it that all of you conglomerate and do it all together, or do you have different speeds you end up going at, or is it a situation of you need to wait for one person to finish before you can do anything else? What happened there? We might need to swap Boston. He's getting too much assault put on him. Ooh, interesting. Crack, as I told you, I only watch to have a bit of crack with the chat and the streamer. I'm pulling the piss with you, Skull. As you could tell by my voice, I'm pulling the piss with you. Faustin with a nice attempt, but nothing put through there. Mushala. And then Joaquin. Imagine if Joaquin actually ended up... imagine if he gifted us a goal. My player. Imagine if he gifted us a goal. Anyway, we are performing good now, to be honest. Nice connected play there. We've been the better team here, but we've been sloppy in certain respects, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Like, Enric should have been tighter for that to work. Round of 16. First game ended 5-4 at Red Bull Belgrade, so I have to pick up in the back next game. It was the first game, Kicker. Home or away, because it does unfortunately make a difference. Normally in FM, if you are losing going into an away game, the AI cracks up in terms of intensity and becomes a much stronger beast. Joaquin's going to end up getting an assist, isn't he? God, Faustin is... I don't know. I know he's at a 7.7, but that's because he got the assist. Faustin's being targeted quite strongly on that side. Well, that's good. Kicker, at least it's a home game, so that makes it more likely for you to perform better and less likely for a catastrophic issue to end up happening. We got together after the FM World Cup Dutch qualifiers, so it's been going for at least 6 months. This has been going since September of last year, so trust me, I understand the feeling of it. At some point, I need to update this, but to be fair, to update this, it means I need to rewrite it, considering I've literally used the maximum amount of space that I can for a command. But this is my story kinda thus far. There have been successes in Madrid, but for the most part, this has been the journey of the legendary manager Craic. I'm starting to get concerned at how strong their tacking has ended up happening. I mean, it's not really a trailer, is it? They didn't show us anything. Like, everything they showed there is at best a pre-match cutscene. And there's no even guarantee that that pre-match cutscene is going off of in-match graphics. There's literally, I think it's 11 seconds of in-game footage showcased there where they outright say that this is footage. At least we know the game exists. But as for being excited about the graphics or anything like that, I'll be excited when more information ends up coming out about it. It's a pleasure to end up having it's there. I think they're going to get their arses handed to them 10 ways to Sunday if they come back to us and say international football still isn't included when they took an extra year. I think that's one of the things they're not going to get away with, and I have a sinking suspicion they're going to try and get away with that. I have a feeling the game will be simplified quite significantly. But we don't know because we haven't been shown anything. It is fascinating the amount of people who got their panties in a bunch about the fact that there was EAFC logos all over the bloody spot. They are the official sponsor for the Premier League, so I suppose if the Premier League is giving all of its sponsorships over to be showcased properly through Premier League sponsorship, they would appear on it. It just is funny that you're technically in your game promoting your main sponsor, your main opposition. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much of a feeling about it. What do you think, Maddie? Oh yeah, it's only because of the licensing. And what's funny about it is it'll be taken out of it. It'll be taken out of the game once the licensing deal is done anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. I care about the international football because it's removing something that was in the game, and I never like when moving over to something when you're stripping away services, because what will end up happening is they'll take away the international football, and then in FM27 they'll bring back the international football and turn around and says, "Yay, we have a new feature! We've added international football!" Fuck you! It was there before. WWE is notorious for doing that. I think the ambulance match has been removed and added to WWE games bloody 5 times now between all of its different versions, and it's a new feature every time they add it. No, I just don't like that. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, you know? But we'll see what ends up happening with it. It's just nice to know that the game is coming. I'm worried about a couple of things to do with it. I do think they're going to simplify it a bit too much. I do think if that is the graphical intensity they're going with, it could lead to interesting circumstances when they end up creating new players. Because I think, based on the small snippets we've seen of the in-game characters, and again, beta images, they look like characters that would have appeared in FIFA 20, but then again, the characters that appear in FIFA 25 look like the characters that would appear in FIFA 20, because they don't change the fucking game! Never mind. I'm going to get into a rant if I'm not careful. But that's my viewpoint. We'll see. We haven't seen anything yet, but it's exciting for it to be there. Anyways. Now, one thing I'm interested about is if they're adding in, well, we know they're not, it's not if, when they add in women's football into it, will they be smart enough or ballsy enough, depending on how you look at this question, to add in a mode that mixes the male and female footballers together? And if you do that, do you do it the FIFA way, where the best female talents in the world have the same, if not higher ratings than the best male talents in the world? Because I'm sure there'll be a couple of people who will be expecting a mode where you mix the two of them together. Like, in the likes of the WWE games, they end up having the likes of Becky Lynch as a 90. Which would be higher than like legends like Mark Henry. So... we'll see. I think if they're smart, you don't put that option in there, because there's no need to cause that level of issues. I just use this as an example because, like, literally in one of the games there, Becky Lynch had a strength of 9, and as a result of which, technically speaking, in the game's code, could end up powerlifting Mark Henry. I just use it as an example. That's where that game is a bit tainted. But to be fair, they fixed that so that it wasn't based on your strength score, it was based on your size score. So, yeah, but people have been asking for gender fighting for years, so, you know, people loved it back in Here Comes the Pain and stuff like that, even though back in those games the highest stat you'd end up having for a female wrestler was 60. But, you know, that's an entirely different kettle of fish. I'll be honest, I don't care about the women's side. Maybe I'll do a save, but I don't know, I'm more interested in the men's side. I mean, yeah, but it's nice to see the game being given love. And the sad truth of the fact is, if the game came out on its own without, like, a male version and a female version, which is probably what they should have done. But if they came out as a male version and a female version, the female version probably wouldn't sell that well currently, with the way that they promote and sell and do the whole lot of the game. There'll be a time, so long as the women continue to improve, that'll change. But for now, it's not a bad addition, so we'll see what ends up happening. Like, it's already, the women's game is already improving itself. Like, there was 50,000 people in Wembley for the final of the FA Cup, I think? Women's FA Cup this year? Like, they're getting there. They just need to improve they just need to improve the viewability factor, which unfortunately means getting good pundits. And sadly, most of the pundits they end up having for women's football at the moment are American, and American pundits are not great for soccer at the best of time, never mind the women. And to be honest, if you wanted to do anything with the women's sport, I have Alex Scott all over the bloody spot. She's one of the only commentators out there at the moment that actually has any charisma. In general, that's both male and female. That's the reason why she works so well for the Champions League. I'd say a surprising amount of people are... it's hard to know. Skull. Considering it's technically the reason why they needed to change... It's technically the reason why they changed engine. Well, it's the excuse they used for why they changed engine. That's just funny. But yeah. I'm guessing you're saying screw that person to me talking about Alex Scott. Is it, Duck? And if so, why? What the hell was that, Warren? Oh, God damn it, you're not meant to do long balls. And Enric isn't performing great. Ard isn't either. Whenever she's on, I turn off. Really? I don't know. I like Alex Scott. I like the interaction between her and Thierry Henry. Specifically her and Henry. I think she gets on very well with Henry. Carragher and that lineup I can do with or without. And Micah Richards, to be honest, I'm gonna be a bit crude. I don't like Micah Richards on anything when he doesn't have Roy Keane beside him. Roy Keane makes Micah Richards bearable. Jamie Carragher just doesn't have the same banter feel as Micah Richards. But I also don't think Jamie Carragher's a good pundit. So, who would you replace Carragher with though? That's the big thing. Because you definitely, god damn it, guys, because you definitely wouldn't replace him with Gary Neville. Ironically, there is someone I would replace Jamie Carragher with. Because he's actually not a bad pundit when he isn't razzled. If he's razzled, then he's crap. But I'd actually replace him with Wayne Rooney. Or the next time he gets sacked, replace him with Jose Mourinho. The breast was the best thing in the Champions League last season. Yes, to be honest, that was very funny. I'd love to do punditry. I'd love to do commentary of any description. Like, I just love doing this stuff, to be honest, Matty. My big thing is I don't have the looks, I don't have the connections, and I'm probably a bit too old to be in any way commentated for any of that type of stuff. But I'd absolutely love to do that type of stuff, if I'm brutally honest. Who knows? Maybe in the future, if Mark Goldbridge is looking for more people to end up going on to That's Football, he might end up looking for someone like me. Maybe I can end up building the YouTube up enough that I can end up going on to That's Football as one of those commentators. Yeah, but I mean, have you heard Benny's voice? That man is sweetness divine. That man is so sexy he makes bloody ice melt. That man is so hot that when he goes outside, it evaporates into steam. Rain, like that man is the cause of global warming. Like, that's not fair. And to compare me to Benny, that's not fair. I mean, I don't know. The thing when it comes down to doing reviews and stuff like that, you do need to have actual setups put up in place, a wee bit of graphical fidelity put onto it. If you just end up recording audio, it doesn't particularly work well. Like, maybe set up a podcast of some description, but you kind of need to banter off people. It's hard to end up doing it when you don't have a proper setup. Like, every now and again, I've done a watch along here where I talk about what's going on and everything. And I enjoy when I do it, but there's more additions I'd end up needing to end up adding to it, and I don't have the skills to add them onto it yet. Like, we'll see in the future whether or not I end up adding that type of stuff. Like, at the moment, if you're doing that type of review content for United, you'd end up doing that stupid, put the list of everyone down there and do a kind of short TikTok of it. You know? But yeah. Yeah, but I enjoy this type of stuff anyway. I enjoy talking. Like, I have diarrhea of the mouth and constipation of the brain, so it helps. Why is Caster Labs not working? Okay, so Twitch is now not connected to Caster Labs. Bloody why? I'm confused. You're confusing me. I'm surprised you can understand me at all, to be honest, Skull. Ooh. Okay, out for a corner. Odd corner to end up getting to. Yeah, but I talk more like an American than I do an Irishman. Okay, Seller with a nice corner. We're doing well defensively here, but we do need to make a couple of changes now. We'll make them now. So Warren needs to be taken off, and we'll put Brim on instead. Loffy now needs to be taken off as well, and we'll put Oscar on there now. That makes it 3. Yeah, we'll go with that, and we'll see how things end up going. At the end of the day, we don't need to worry too much about mixing things up. We have a nice flow going down here. I don't care about winning this match 1-0 and a bad 1-0, as long as we win it. I probably should take Foston off as well, but at the end of the day, there's no real point making too many subs. Yeah, you just had the Irish accent. I started talking Irish, I would get lost. Come as a talk to Gia Quichos Amase de Hele. I had a cracking Irish history teacher. She used to read textbooks out loud very fast, and I could understand them. I was diabolical at Irish. Although the one thing I used to do is I used to be a complete and utter arsehole in Irish, and I used to... because one of the main things you end up learning in every Irish class in the country is, you dick. That is so not deserving. What a rocket of a cross. What a rocket of a header. Crap. And then they take him off, because of course they do. I used to turn it, because one statement that you end up knowing in every Irish school in the country is Unwill Cadagam Dullamahan Lehras, which means, can I go to the bathroom? What I used to do is I used to turn around and say Jairi me Unwill Cadagam Dullamahan Lehras, which basically means I've decided, can I go to the bathroom? Because I just wanted to get out. I wanted to piss off my teacher that was angry capital punishment wasn't a thing anymore. I have decided! Can I go to the bathroom? God damn it, Turbin. And yes, I'd always say it that way, by the way. Oh, Benny, you're a gent and a scholar. I think it's only right that I should have done this beforehand anyway, but there's absolutely no need for you to be doing that, by the way. Absolutely no need for you to be doing that, but thank you so much for that. You're genuinely a gent and a scholar. If you haven't followed Benny, please do. Fantastic streamer, it of himself. He's a fantastic curator of the best assets known to Twitch. Enjoys the finer things in life. You know, the biggest fan in the world of the MLS. And of course, when we say the MLS, we mean it's still blocked out, so we have to wait a second. Of course, we mean that. But at the end of the day, Benny is one of the good ones. Definitely give him a follow. The stuff they do is fantastic. They're doing the longest save at the moment, which is to try and get a trophy in every base vanilla football manager thing you can get. Genuinely one of the nicest, best streamers you can end up getting. I highly recommend to anyone end up following him on Twitch. I don't think you have you have YouTube. Has a fantastic video, which I'm sure. Have you published that video about how to play the MLS yet? Because if you haven't published that video, actually post it in the chat there if you have a quick link to it, Benny. Yeah, post in the chat there if you have a quick. No. I lost my words. But anyway, fantastic streamer. Highly recommend him. And too generous as well. Ah. Which one? Is it action timing, or is it you putting the anime titties into Hearts of Lion? Or have you finally managed to make Stellar Blade work properly and put true Gooner bait on for me? I still haven't purchased that game yet. I know it's a very good game, but who knows? Maybe in the future. I will say, I haven't really played them, but I will say, oh crikey, Haaland. Lord of the Fallen 2, based on the short cinematic trailer they ended up giving for us, looks interesting from Gamescom. Bex, by the way, thank you so much for the like. I genuinely appreciate it. You're a scholar. I don't normally call people out on TikTok, but genuinely thank you so much for that. It's excellent. I played it again last week. My word is good. It's a shame that the OBS keeps screwing up for you when it comes down to that game, because there are other people who use OBS that have been able to get it working. So there has to be a way around getting it working. Maybe it must have something to do with your CPU. I don't know. If I ever buy the game, I'll end up checking to find out. Oh, crikey. Yeah, I'd say that might be it. Why'd you get banned for that? Seems like an odd thing for you to get banned for. This looks like this is going to extra time. Okay. Vinny, you came on as a fucking sub. Okay, Ardguller needs to come off. I think we have to go ultra attacking. And unfortunately, we have to make the double sub. He's just performing too bad. I hate doing that. I hate making two subs, but he's just performing too bad. I hate bringing someone on and taking them back off, but he's performing so bad we don't really have a choice. That is a gorgeous emote, by the way. I think everyone's after getting it there. That's a gorgeous emote. It's one of the good things about having the hype train initiate on yourself. You don't actually need to be involved in it to get the rewards. Really? That's an interesting thing to end up getting banned for. Maybe I should refrain from the Miles Lewis Skelly jokes a wee bit. Maybe I'll get banned. Oh, you finally got a crack of hype, Maddie. I love that emote. Some were just jovial, light-hearted jokes. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know, it depends on what they were end up being said for. There's an awful lot of arseholes out there, so I couldn't tell you whether or not they actually were light-hearted or not. Anyways, can we get this goal? Because we haven't looked like we could score in a month of Sundays, mind you. Okay, the Bon. Because they look far more dangerous than we are. And it's genuinely concerning. We have 4 minutes before this goes to extra time. That's a really, really light free kick to give to them, by the way. Simic. Jancic. Trem. Oh, I can feel it coming. I can feel the goal coming for them. And especially when Aaron is doing passes out like that. What the hell was that? Okay. At least we're taking our time a wee bit now. Ooh, God damn it, guys. Give me a heart attack. Okay. As they've started playing much, much better football. Oscar to Marco. Marco, nothing there, Marco. Boston to Brim. Brim trying to get it to Derby. Biggest problem with Diaby is Vinny is just a significantly better player, and Diaby is very, very young and very, very green. Brim to Oscar. Diaby. Again, very green. Like, you'd like if Vinny was playing good that he might have actually ran with that ball a bit better. Oh, this is squeaky bum time right now.
Nothing like a bit of Pepsi Max. Maximum taste, zero sugar.
Just Eat Too being a bloody sponsor. Making me fat. No wonder I'm so fat. This game has been subconsciously telling me to eat fast food. Enric. Enric's been performing mediocre as well. Okay, can we score off of this free kick? I bloody doubt it. God, I wish I was proven wrong. Oh, Libe. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be 24 minutes.
What lovely balls.
Oh, Cat Mini. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Captain Genu and between that and big meaty men slapping meat, they're my favorite. They're my favorite blurps. Oh no, I can feel it coming for them. I can feel it coming from them. I'm going to have another bloody PSG moment happen. How were you offside? I don't understand that at all. Oh, Oscar. Oh, Oscar, you needed to be a big meaty man there. Oh, they're playing very attacking now as well. Okay, Burke, what are you doing? What? What happened there? We had the fucking ball. Oh, you assholes. Oh, you assholes. I'm livid. I'm absolutely livid. That's a joke. I can't believe that. That's a joke. Okay. Well, off we go to the second half. I'm actually pissed about that. That's a joke, that one. God, Foston. You're technically the best player on the pitch, but I don't understand how. Well, passes like that would help, I suppose. Come on, Diaby. Come on, Diaby. Diaby! Diaby and Oscar. It took 2 substitutions to get that wing right. Bellingham, after going off injured, Vinicius played like crap. Turbin makes a horrible save attempt. And Diaby and Oscar get it in. I don't care if it's luck, Matty. A win is a win is a win. I will take the horseshit. I will take the horse manure. I am ecstatic about that. Skull, you can...
Off is the direction you can fuck.
Okay. Can we keep things up now? We have... Defensively, we've been good, other than the one moment. Oh, come on. Ah, Enric. Simic. I think they're getting worried now as well. But they're performing very good. I don't like that Adama's after getting that the RB is after getting that. I was in if that was competently headed. Yeah, we're being too risky now. We're giving away too many opportunities here. In theory, what I should do is I should go cautious, but I don't actually think it's the right thing to do. I don't think you change a winning situation. What a save! Aaron, you've earned your roses there. Oh my god. Ah, Marco, come on. Fair play to Diaby for a youngster who's being thrown into the thick of things. He's been performing fairly good. It's very obvious that he's anxious and worried about what's going on, but he's performing fairly good. Their goal is still coming. Annoyingly, their goal is still coming. I think Skull might be right. I think, unfortunately, the odds are this is going to go to penalties. It's blatantly obvious their goal is coming. It's just a matter of what sub do I make. Do I replace one of the defenders to give myself more strength in defense? Do I replace Eduardo Camavinga to give us more strength in the midfield? Do I leave everything the way that it is at the moment in order to hope that something good ends up coming? Because it's still possible that we score. Lebe to Oscar. Oscar to Burke. Lebe. Enric. Interesting that Enric was offside. Down to Morgan. Wait, is that Stefan Morgan? Is that the former player I had? Actually, I want to check that. Pause. Shit! That's Stefan Morgan! I forgot we sold him to City. And of course they've made him better than he was when we ended up having him. Okay. Okay. It wouldn't shock me a goddamn bit if Stefan Morgan ended up getting the goal. For one of my players to end up screwing me. Or one of my former players to end up screwing me. What was that? That's where Diaby needs to be careful, making silly mistakes like that. With pressure, you kind of have to do anything. Enric. There's a wave of emotions there with me just saying Enric's name. Disappointment to happiness to disappointment again. Oh my god. Okay, good work, Foston. Okay, and Hewitt has it out. Burke. Ooh, Jesus! Don't be bringing Aaron up. First half of extra time, my friend. Eduardo. Oh, that sounded like a puppy, to be honest. You're gonna do it to me. You're gonna do it to me twice, aren't you, ref? I mean, fair enough. That time I didn't care. I mean, he's 33, yeah. Still one of the best in the world. By the way, just so you can see his record, 370 and 310, like, insane. Okay, we start the second half. And I think we make the Eduardo Camavinga change. Yeah. This will either make us or break us. We have 15 minutes to get through this. If we remain the same, we win, and we scrape the final. Or Adama Diaby, you beauty. Enric then with the nice run straight into the back of the net. You absolute beaut. A 2-goal buffer is the most dangerous buffer in all of sports, but that should be the nail. That should be the nail in the coffin, but a 2-goal buffer is the most dangerous buffer in all of sports. So technically, this is when people start relaxing. And it still feels like they're getting a goal. It really does. Watching this game, it still feels like they're getting a goal. Foston. Nice work by Foston. Taking the corner now. Can we make it 4? Can we kill this game? No. Turbin's too good for that weak of a header by Emmanuel Ogate. Oscar, you can't go down that weak. Corner. There's 9 minutes left. I know the game said Turbin was on the 6.4. I don't believe that for an instance. Rim. Diaby. Lebao. Diaby. Oh, imagine if Lebao with that shot managed to knock it into the back. He's done it before. Like, Lebao is an interesting one because we signed him as a midfielder and he just happened to fit into that libero role fantastically. So we plonked him in there, and we've never really turned our back on it since. I mean, we knew he could perform there, but it wasn't why we saw. Oh, Marco's down injured. Shit. We're down to 10 men. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. That is not good. Oh, Eric almost scored. Can you come back onto the pitch, Marco? Can you come back onto the pitch? Can you support us for another 5 minutes? I mean, you're on the pitch. You're on the pitch, Marco. Going through the pain. Well on you. Well on you. Oh, you can feel it coming. Maybe I'm building this up, but I can feel their goal coming. I still think we're one pass away from getting another one though as well. Like we're performing better ever since we made this sub for Emmanuel Ogate, even though he hasn't done anything. Oscar, you cheeky bastard, Oscar. Oh, Boston. Oh, you cheeky prick. That's the second time you've done that. Nutmegged him, but it didn't do anything. Stefan. Antonio. Is that a penalty? No way. No way. Oh, thank God. Okay. We're still in this. We still had the chance to do excellence, to do this again. Okay, Morgan now passing up there. They need to be more offensive if they want to get back into this. They easily, in these last 2 minutes, can score the 2 goals that they need to get back. We're fragile enough that we might make the mistakes, but we seem to be okay. Hewitt. Oh, Libe with a nice heading block. DRB doing the best he can. What happened there? It literally admitted Haaland dived. Oh, and with that, it's confirmed. After back-to-back European finals, Real Madrid have done the treble. We failed to do the quadruple. We were close. Atletico Madrid dashed our hopes in the quadruple. But we done the treble. So, with this being the case, we look to see what potential options there are for next season. So I will go through a bit of the preseason and see if there are any potential jobs. And if there's anything that interests me, we might end up taking a job somewhere else. Otherwise, we might do one more season in Real Madrid and try to get the quadruple. But for now, we are the champions of Spain. We are the champions of Europe. Technically speaking, we are the champions, the Super Cup champions of Spain. We just aren't the Cup champions of Spain. But we have achieved what we needed to do. For the second time in my career, I have won the Champions League. First time when I won it with the quadruple with Liverpool. Second time Now, when I've won it with Real Madrid, technically speaking, they'll be in the Club World Cup, which is interesting. I've never done a Club World Cup. Barcelona, 2 years beforehand, won the quadruple, which is one of the reasons why I'm considering staying and doing the quadruple. I haven't a clue. I honestly haven't a clue when the Club World Cup is. I'll have a gawk for it in a second. Let's just do this first. Yep. Okay, bye. Holy crap. Holy crap, that's a lot of money to pay out to the squad. But also I got 2.75 million. Borussia Dortmund got 5 million for Jude Bellingham. And although he's never played, he's played no games for. He's played 5 games for us. Oh, funny. Greece. Anyways, let's look at what jobs we have, and then I'll finish up for the day. We might stay one more season to see how things are, considering we want to try and get the best result we can possible for Real Madrid and leave on the ultimate success. But we'll see. So, Sunderland is available, which is interesting. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? I leave Real Madrid and join Real Madrid B. That would be hilarious. Juventus. Dustin Vlahovic still there. Rafa Martin. Varela. Interesting. He's leaving and joining Bayern Munich. Levi Colwell, which is interesting. The problem with this team is you need a completely new team. But I'll consider it. For now, though, I will leave us at that, and we'll see what ends up happening. It was a pleasure to have all of you today, my friends. I thank everyone that showed up. I want to thank once again the Dutchman FM for the raid. It was genuinely an honor to have you do that for me, and I want to thank Benny for the gifted subs. You definitely didn't need to do that, my friend. But I am going to finish us off there. For everyone on Twitch, I'm going to send us over to a friend of the chat and all-around sound guy who's playing Death Stranding at the moment, Digital Owen. Give him a hi, give him a Crack Addicts attack, or whatever you feel yourself. And again, I thank you all until the next time. It's unlikely I'll stream tomorrow, as is the usual case with my Wednesdays, because I have the boxing. And I don't have FM easily set up because I need to obviously consider a few things here. But depending on when I finish, I might end up doing it. The next time you'll probably end up seeing me is Thursday. But until then, to each and every one of you, thank you so much. Remember, I am the stupid sexy crack. MLS, of course, means Miles Lewis Skelly. Because why not say it? And of course, once and for all, make sure your crack is 90. Shlán go fóill, and as always, Pog Mahone, my friends. Adios.